Okay, welcome in. Welcome to the Glow Show. Tonight we are on big ass marbles. And I am going to throw the shield up. I wasn't going to use this, but yeah, I forgot I got the wireless mic in. So we definitely have to use that. Okay. All right, just have to check something real quick. All right, we're good. Sorry about that. Let's rock it. What's up, Dragonfly? Yeah, we're doing one of the big marbles. This one is not a cremains, though. This is not a memorial. So this is someone ordered a straight up planetary marble. What's up, Tia? So we're going to be doing that. Should be a little easier, technically. I'm not going to wear gloves tonight, though. I do not want to wear any gloves right now. So we're just going to bring this out and attach a punty and get this thing rocking. What's up, Tricky Wild? Okay, so we're going to trim all this off. I got a little bit of an edge on this clear. Got to get rid of it. I always get these little, like they're little scrubby bubbles on the edge when you cut this glass. It is never fun to have it on there. All right, now we're gonna go. What's up? What's up, Laura? How are you? All right, so we're gonna add this in and melt the hell out of it. All right, I gotta go full bore. We're just gonna have to go big flame tonight. Super big flame. What's up, Jen? How are you? So we're going to be pushing a lot of this glass. But this marble will be a little faster because we don't have to add the cremains in it, so that's going to make it a hell of a lot faster, actually. But we're just going to start pushing it together. So we got these big bunches here. Start pushing it together. Lots of glass. Gets heavy too after a little bit. This does get a little bit heavy. This is going to be a big old space-themed planetary marble. So it's like the ones that are front and center. Kind of planet looking. But this is not a memorial, so it is not going to be as complicated. So we do not have to add the cremains into it. So not too bad. A little bit more, and this one should be good. We'll start adding the blue. After I get this bundled up a little bit. So one time I do get to use my full flame though. Big spacey themed marble. Space, planetary space cosmic marble. I don't want to call it a marble though. I mean, once it gets past 3 inches, I don't think it's a marble anymore. 31 years. 31 years, Kevin. Okay. Take it down a notch. This is one of the things that I always talk about when we're giving instructions. See how I'm rocking my arms back and forth, one up, one down? This is what's keeping the glass flowing at a pace that I want it to. Otherwise, it just gets a little lopsided here and there to a point that I don't want it. Okay, got a little wrinkle there we're going to take out. All right, we're going to detach it here, and then we're going to start adding in the cobalt. I wasn't even going to use the shield, but I forgot I got my wireless microphone on. But thank you so much for the thumbs up. I'd give you a thumbs up right now, but I've got my hands busy. Give me a second, I'll give you a thumbs up for those jewels. All right, let's turn on the fan. Okay. So now I'm just going to mellow this out a little bit, this little end right here. Going to blend it in, then we're going to grab the cobalt blue, we're going to start striping the cobalt all the way on it, and then we'll add the decoration. Great news? Oh, I like good news. Hot wings or mild? Tacos. Tacos, what are you talking about, hot wings? Tacos, damn it. This is a big old marble, so it's going to be like these. Except this one is a non-memorial. So this will not contain any cremains or ash in it. All right, we are good. Look how crystal clear that is. Now I'm upside down. See how my face goes upside down? These make really cool cameras I put in front of the lens. It makes it really cool. Yeah, Wood Tiger, someone was asking hot wings, and I said, no, tacos. No hot wings. Okay, let's add the blue. Tricky Wild, high five. I got to give you a high five. Jen, I appreciate that. Enchiladas? I'm not a big fan of enchiladas. Not a huge fan of them. All right, so we're going to add the cobalt. So the way I do this is I add the end first, and then we'll work on adding the middle section. Going to bring it out. Blend it in. Anyway, how you doing, Wood Tiger? You doing good? Thank you, Matt. I've been working a long time on the lighting, trying to get the stuff right. I'm still working on it too. Yep. Yeah, there. I'm assuming it's the pink marble probably sitting in the angel wings. It's like sitting in a little angel wing holder. Yep, that is my most popular item. That's how I knew. Yeah, we can definitely do it in blue. What's up, Groves? So we got some superstars in the house. We got Groves Glass Gallery and Dragonfly Creation. Two moderators who are awesome. They are both on their glass blowing journey. And if you want a really cool content to watch, they would be someone to watch, because you get to watch them progress. So if you've ever been interested in like learning glass blowing or what it's like to learn, it's good to watch them for that. It'll give you a good idea of what it takes and how much work it is. It's not super easy. Jenny and the Jets, how are you? Hi, Red Squeak. There's another awesome moderator. Red Squeak is in the house. Red Squeak's been with me for a while. So right now we're adding the blue. So this is my planetary series I've been working on for a while. Kind of what I think planets or nebulas in space should look like. I kind of thumbed through a lot of, well, it used to be Hubble, but now it's James Webb telescope images to get ideas. But in all honesty, I like the Hubble a little better, even though it's a little fuzzier. It gives me a little bit more creativity. Like the James Webb is super detailed. And I don't know if I necessarily want that. Kind of like a little bit of the fuzziness. All right, so we're bringing it all the way around here. So this is encapsulating it in cobalt. And then we're going to spin a bunch of color on here. I'm going to do this a little different than the other one. We're not going to go as rich on the cobalt in the beginning. We're going to incorporate the colors early. Let's see how that works. Do I wear long sleeves for protection? No, it is cold as hell. I'm wearing them because they're cold. Okay, so there we got a little bit of cobalt traction around that. Yeah, I love Mexican food too. Can I do some cooking videos? Only if it's me roasting a marshmallow. I can roast a mean marshmallow. if you want one of these, you just have to message me. They are not currently on the Etsy store. Well, actually they are, but they're as a memorial. Anything that you see as a memorial, we can make without ash, obviously. Yeah, it is cold as hell outside, so. All right, I need to transfer this here so I can add the cobalt to the other side, then we'll start decorating the hell out of it. Thank you, Red Squeak. All right, so we're just going to fuse this on really, really good. And then I'm going to add the cobalt to the other side, then we'll start adding all the accents. I'm going to make this one very transparent, hopefully. No, the shield's on because of the heat coming off this. The flame isn't that hot. It is the heat coming off the glass ball, or what will be a ball. I do a lot of cremains. So like the two big marbles that are in the front are memorial marbles. They are actual memorials. They are going out to the customer tomorrow. But she wants one without the ashes. So. Oh, I hope it went well, Red Squeak. You could always message me about it. I wouldn't necessarily post it on here. It's the internet. So, all right, now we have to add cobalt to the other side. So yeah, I do a lot of ashes. These both contain cremains in it, these two bigger ones. Oh, this is the last bigger one that I have. Huh. No, the glass is talented. I'm just a guy that makes it work. What's up, L to the B? Oh, that's cool. That's cool that you're on both. How you doing, L to the B? All right, so we're gonna add in the cremain, or not the cremains, the blue. Now I got cremains on the mind. All right, so we're connected there. We're just going to wrap this all the way around. See if we can add in a little bit wider flame to preheat this a little. Yeah, that works better. A little bit better. It's kind of preheating this rod before it gets attached. Oh my God, L to the B, thank you for those fest chest or cheer. That is actually awesome. Yeah, they are. Look at that. Yeah, we are entering Live Fest, so we'll be doing that. Have a good one, Jen. Thank you, L to the B. Okay, a little bit more. Then we will start adding color and detail. Well, creating chaos. I don't know how much detail is going to be on it. It's going to be more chaos. Okay, we're going to add a bunch of cobalt to the edge here. like that. All right, I think we got enough cobalt on here. We'll be adding more as I add more color. All right, so it is fully encased. Colleen, thank you for the 100 jewels. Nope, I definitely cannot make anything. I know that was a troll post, but yeah. All right, so we're going to spiral some of this green around here. We're going to do half at a time. I'm just going to randomly lay this around. Because we're going to do a technique called finger painting. Not very creative, but it describes it perfectly. All right, so we got a little bit of that green laying down around it. Then we're going to take some of the shimmer, the liquid metal, we're going to add that in. Now this one we're going to do a very sparse amount. This one goes a long way. In other words, it dilutes down a lot. All right. And then we need to grab us some amber purple. So this is a color called amber purple. And it is a very unique color. It transfers from like amber to a purpley hue. Which makes it very, very cool. We're just going to add that all the way around. I made sure to grab enough this time. And one more little stripe of it right here. Okay. Pop that off to the side. So, we got just a bunch of color laying down. All right, not a specific pattern to it. Now we're going to take this blue and we're going to swirl it around. This is where the finger painting comes in. The very last step will be using clear. So right now I'm going to swirl all these colors around. And this is what I commonly refer to as finger painting. And my goal is to add as many little micro swirls in here as I can. Okay, I'm going to show you briefly what it looks like. So you can see everything swirling right there versus just it laying down. And that's what creates all the swirls that are in these guys down here. And after I put the cobalt down, we will add some clear, which will give it a three-dimensional look with the color. But trying to move this much glass around is not fun. The process is, but not this much of it. I would much rather make 2-inch marbles than the 3. Much, much rather. Anyway, so we are just having fun. How's everybody doing tonight? Y'all doing good? It was actually a pretty decent day today. Just cold. Anybody? I hope nobody's experiencing too much cold. Unless you like it. But I don't know if anywhere in the nation is having hot weather, or in the U.S. I don't think anybody is. Jeremy's 90s. Thank you for the lives. Appreciate you. All right, so we're just swirling this around. This is like the very relaxing part right here. This is the calm before the storm. Because once we start pushing this thing together, it gets hot and heavy. And I mean hot. Snow next week in Colorado? Really? Are you looking forward to it or not? Yeah, snug in the bug in a blanket. I get that. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna spin it up. All right, so that was creating a little bit of chaos in it. Now we're going to grab some clear and go on top of that. Now that should give a three-dimensional look to it. Like you can see a lot of elevation of the colors in here. They're not just kind of looking flat. They kind of have some elevation to it. And that is what I'm looking for. Nope, nope, don't like that. Did not like that piece of glass. Thank you, Kevin from Maryland. I bet you it's cold there. Bet you Maryland is hella cold. And we're just going to roll through. So this is, like I said, this gives it a little elevation. a little bit more. One spot right here. Then we're going to start rounding this out a little bit. You'll start to see some of the work paying off here. We're going to get it half round, then we're going to add the color to the other side and finish this up. So I do these marbles in 2 halves. One side done, then flip it over and do the other side. So right now we have just a lot of color laid down. It's all swirling like these 2 guys. And we're just going to heat it up and bring it into the molds, start shaping. The only problem is it takes forever. What's up, Daisy girl? We're making these marbles here. So these contain ash or cremains in it. This one does not. This is a non-memorial. But the customer wanted one without ash. I don't know why, I don't ask, but yeah, she wanted one of these marbles that did not contain the cremains in it. So I do got to put a little swirl here. Not my job to ask why. Just to make it, you know? They look bushy and fluffy? I don't know about that. Height or bulk of material, not elevation? Well, I think it makes it look elevated. That's why I said it looks elevated. When the camera unfortunately doesn't pick it up right. It just doesn't give it the depth that it should. All right, I'm going to bring this out. So I will show you what my glasses kind of look like. So we'll bring this in. It's not really a good example. I can't hold it for too long. But that's how I see it. See how you can see into the fire a lot better? But I can't hold that long. That radiating heat is hot. This thing, the glass itself is putting off the heat, not the flame. Oh, that sucks, Red Squeak, but at least you know. The glass is expensive. The colored glass is expensive, yes. There are several sources you can get it from. You can definitely go to, there are like several places you can go. With fluffy, how do you even see my eyebrows? I can't even see my eyebrows. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, the colored glass is super expensive. Normally, an average price is about $35 for a color, but some of the colors can run upwards of $150 a pound. All right, so we are getting it to drip down. You can see it's starting to shape. Now this mold that I'm using right here, the little half dome circles, that is made of graphite. or pencil lead. Toasty, thank you for the jewels. Thank you. Thank you, Toasty. I appreciate that. Yeah, there are some colors that get up there. Oh, Traction. Thank you for the laughing disco. I gotta check out what a laughing disco is. I don't really care what anybody thinks on this part. I like disco. Some of the disco stuff is funky cool. If you listen to a Bee Gees song and you don't get up and start moving, I don't know what's wrong with you. You cannot listen to a Bee Gees song and not get up and move. Not all disco, but I have a weird eclectic music taste. Still use a large Carlisle? That's a great torch. There's nothing wrong with a large Carlisle. All right, we are looking good. Why do I need graphite molds or just preference? You can use wood. Okay, you can use a wooden mold, but it has to be soaked in water. The wood molds have to be soaked in water, and usually you use cherry wood for that. But graphite molds, the mold will not stick to the glass. So graphite and glass don't mix at all. Celestial Sphere, how are you? Welcome back. See, I told you I remember names. Celestial Sphere, thank you. Welcome back. See, I recognize names when they come back. But yeah, graphite and glass won't stick. Tungsten and graphite are two materials that won't stick to glass. So those are preferences of using with glass. The only thing that's bad about graphite and tungsten is they're brittle. Alva, what's up? How are ya? Alvaro, Santiago, welcome in. Celestial Sphere, thank you. Old Traction, thank you. All right, I'm going to show you where we're at. So now you can kind of see the implications of what's going on here with all that. You can see that little tiny swirl up there, all the colors bouncing through. So that's what we created with all those wild lines. Now there is one color in here that hasn't shown up yet. That is the amber purple. The amber purple will show up later, but it is not making itself known right now. It's hiding out. All right, we do have to make this a punty. So I got a little crack in this thing right there, watch. That's why you tap that off. Don't want to have it fall. No, I don't really make any smoking pieces anymore. If I do, there's only like a few styles, and the only ones I do glow in the dark. Glow in the dark only. All right, so we have to punty here, and then I can add that same type of coloring all the way to the other side. No bongs, no dongs. Sorry. I don't make any bongs or dongs. Not gonna happen. I do not look like Philip Seymour Hoffman. I get everybody telling me I look like Denzel. So, I don't know what you're seeing, but everybody says I look like Denzel. What's up, Rob? How are you? Richard, what's happening? Am I burning my hand? No. How does the glow-in-the-dark process work? I developed a glow-in-the-dark glass like 20-something years ago, and it just works. I don't make bongs because there's so many people making them. Why do you need one for me? You know, I'd rather specialize in other directions. All right, so now we got to add all the color to here. Wow, you can see that spiraling all over the place. I know, right, Betty? How are you? All right, here we go. We got to add the color. We're going to spiral it around. That's not good. Just going to kind of layer it down very loose. Doesn't need to be organized because I'm going to be moving it all over the place anyway. Then we're going to take the liquid metal and add that in. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no money in it anymore. And because it's flooded, the market's absolutely flooded. So yeah, no point in it. Okay, and that should be good. This color goes a long, long way. So we're going to let that rest a little bit. There's a little green needed down here, though. All right, I have one more amber purple rod. So this is one of my favorite colors on the planet. See that little tip of color right there? That is called amber purple. It is what's called a striking color. It will strike into a separate color later. Right now it's going to go on very transparent. But later it will go kind of ambery. And it'll have a little bit of a purple shimmer to it if I do things correctly. Now up against the cobalt, that amber color also kind of turns green. So it's like a yellow and blue make green. So this is going to kind of give you a unique green too. Which is going to be pretty awesome. I like this combo. The next one I want to do, though, is definitely going to be in the reds and oranges, like a fiery planet. You know, very fiery. That's kind of what I'm looking for on the next one. What do you guys think? Stay with an ocean theme, or should I do the next one like fiery? Like reds, oranges, and yellows. I think the reds, oranges, and yellows would look cool. Fiery? Yeah, that's what I think. Because you already see the blue. I've done enough of them. All right, so we got a bunch of color built onto it. I'm kind of thinking something like out of Star Wars with, you know, where Vader was created, if you will. I can't remember the name of the planet. But yeah, kind of like that super fiery planet, molten. All right, so we're going to add the cobalt now, and this is going to create the swirls and get it all looking good. Mustafar, there we go. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Something like Mustafar. That fiery, with a little bit of darkness to it. Like these really dark patches with a lot of fiery color. It's exactly what I'm thinking. All right, so right now I'm just laying down the cobalt on top of all this. Then we're going to grab some clear and go on top of that again. And the trick is I have to blend right up to the middle where the previous one was done. We got to make this all look as one. So we're going to bring it and blend it. Almost done. No, not almost done. We're only halfway. Sorry. We're not close. Not close yet. Could I do half ocean? Yep. Could definitely do a half. That's kind of where I'm at right now. This could be a half, and you could do another half in a different color. Yeah, you can definitely mix two halves together. Steven! Oh my God, thank you so much for that super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, coming through. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Making your wrist look sore. It's not that bad. So I'm going to give away a little secret, right? See where this rod is? Watch as I hold it right here. It's stuck into my chest or my belly. Chest, belly, wherever you want to call it. So as I'm holding it, I'm jamming it in. And that's kind of creating some leverage. Reducing the weight a little bit. Nobody sees that part. Those are little tiny OG secrets. The other thing that you'll notice I'm doing, I don't have my arms out like this. Everything's locked in. This lightens the load on everything. Oh my God, thank you so much for the vests. Thank you. So everything's locked in. And that's what helps save your wrists, your shoulders, all that. Giving away all the secrets. Have you ever gotten burned? Yeah, a tiny bit. I've never had a bad one. Knock on wood. No, I've never had an epic burn that I get to like brag about. I know a lot of glassblowers are like, oh yeah, check out this scar. No, I don't have any of those. All right, last little bit, and then we're gonna do the clear. I don't have any. I guess that's good and bad. I don't have any battle stories. Now you can see all that color kind of bouncing around on the outside. We're going to grab the light. I want you to be able to see kind of what it looks like before we get too far. And then there's the other half. So we got to blend all that in now. Then create it into a awesome marble. And here we go. Last little bit. And then we're going to get the whole thing making like this. So this one I'm going to really focus on doing a lot of little hyper circles or swirls. Actually, the color I would love to make of a marble or orb, whatever you want to call it, is when you look at the sun through those filters that they have, like I don't remember which observatory it is, but they keep an eye on the sun and it looks like it's got fur. That would be a kick-ass marble. Make it look like the sun. That would be gnarly. No glass blowing competitions. The only person I compete with is myself. All right, coming around. Oh, this one's going a lot faster. We got some nice core heat in here. All right. Now we're going to work on getting it all rounded out. So now we actually have to turn it to a marble. All right, let's go. Put a little heat on the subject. Actually, before we get too far, I'll show you what my glasses do. I can't hold it too long because the glass is hot, not the flame. But you can see how it filters out all that brightness. Watch. See that? I can't do that too long because it gets too hot. I'm going to put a little spiral up here. So that's how the glasses work. That's what these are made of. And it helps a lot. My shades are 3. I do not like shade 5. I hate them. Celestial Sphere, thank you for the jewels. I appreciate you. Yeah, I do not like the shade 5s. I know that they would probably be better in some ways, but they're just too damn dark for me. Thank you, Tia. Well, this is going to take a minute because this takes a while for it to get hot enough. Thank you for the fest cheers. Appreciate you. What's been my favorite creation? I have a 4-foot sword behind me that's kind of hidden right now, but it's a solid glass 4-foot sword. It's like one of my favorites. And most complicated was probably, it's one of 2 projects, but I would say the pool chandelier, the pool table chandelier. So I made a chandelier, and every one of the little pods coming off, the light pods, was a pool ball. And the problem with that is I had to get the lettering in there, and I had to match these really old pool balls, like antique, because the pool table itself was some antique pool table played by not Fats Domino. Who was the famous pool player? Fats. I can't remember it. Who was the famous pool player? Fats. Who was it? Anybody remember? Famous pool player. I can't remember his name offhand. Minnesota Fats, that's it. So this pool table was owned by Minnesota Fats. And so I made a chandelier to go over it. I was trying to remember why that pool table was so famous. And that's why. So I made the chandelier to go over it, and it had to match everything. It was a pain in the butt. But once I got the project done, it was cool as hell. Well, his pool table's sitting in New York at a little well, I don't know if it's a little town, but a town called Tuxedo Park. Tuxedo Park, New York, is where the tuxedo was named. I don't know if anybody knows that. But the tuxedo wasn't named the tuxedo before there was a party at Tuxedo Park, New York. And it was way back in the day, and somebody from France showed up and said, I want the tuxedo. I want the suit from the tuxedo party. And the name the tuxedo stuck. A little bit of dumb history there. But I thought that was cool history. Party blowers! Thank you. God, that's befitting for me on the live stream. Party blowers. That works. Tuxedo Junction near Sarasota. Yeah. I also know the zip code of Tuxedo Park because the postmaster at the time was dyslexic, so it's 10987. Jellyfish is up behind me. Look right behind me. Actually, it's right behind the flame. So yeah, the postmaster at the time when the city was formed was dyslexic, and he lived there. So he gave the zip code of 10987. That's something I would do. All right, let's go. See, I'm full of a bunch of dumbass information, right? All right, this marble's a little bigger than those other two, but that's okay. Yeah, that's what we're making. We're making these guys. Those two have cremains in it, though. This one does not. This one is just straight up glass. This is not a memorial, but it's going to the same customer. They wanted one that did not contain cremains. Okay. So now we're just working out all the wrinkles. I'm going to show you what I'm looking for. So what I'm watching are the lights reflecting off the ceiling and the wall. Now, if you watch it, watch them bounce around. See how they're kind of wavy on the back near where the rod is? See how they're kind of jumping? Now watch this. A lot smoother. So that's telling me where I have high spots and low spots. So I need to work all those little spots out, and then I know I'm good. So we're just working out all those little bits. I'm also watching to see if it bounces in the mold, like jumps. Like right here, it's going to jump a little. I think we're good on this side though. So we're going to switch the rods to the other side. And smooth everything out. Nope. I have two little air bubbles in here. I had two little micro air bubbles in there. And while you wouldn't really notice it, after it cooled off, those little bubbles would cave in a little, and then you'd notice it. So we just had to work the little bubbles out. All right, we're good. Now we're good. Celestial sphere, thank you so much. Now I just got to wait for that to cool off for a minute. Or it's going to wobble. Ah, crap. Houston, we may have a problem. So my holding rod cracked because I buzzed it with the flame. I'm going to try and hope it holds. You can see my holding rod cracked about an inch above the ball. So I'll test it low. All right. If it falls, it won't hurt the marble. It just sucks. Then I got to fix it. Move this stuff out of the way, though. Getting a little toasty on the hand. Now the heat's coming down, and it's not from the flame, it's from the ball. The ball acts like a heat dish, and it's constantly radiating. Even this end that looks cold is still like 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. It's looking good though. I'm pretty happy with it. Not disappointed. And the shield is keeping all the heat off of my microphone so I don't melt it. Thank you, Celestial Sphere, for the jewels. I appreciate it. Those jewels help me a lot. They definitely pump up the live stream a little. It tells the algorithm that everything's working good. That and a lot of chat. Thank you, Ali. And Tia, thank you so much for the fest cheers again. Yeah, we're going to enter the fest. I don't know how far I'll get into the fest contest, but live fest, but we'll find out. We'll try it. We'll see how far we get. Last time for the Live Fest, I made it to round 3, I think. Wow, this one's gorgeous. This definitely has some nice color to it. Karen, thank you so much for the high five. Appreciate that. I would normally give you a high five, but my hands are a little busy at the moment. Yep, it is solid. What's up, Liam Steph? How are you? And if a chat doesn't make sense, it is because I am multi-streaming at the moment. Yep, that is one big hunk of glass. Do people know the joules add up as you use them? I don't know. CC, thank you so much for the joules. Cheryl, thank you for the joules. I appreciate that. All right, we're almost done with this. This is almost completed. I got a tiny little wrinkle to pull out of it, and this one's going to be done. I am streaming on TikTok. Easy. Is it easy? Easy J. I'm going to say it's easy. I'm assuming that's a little bit of abbreviation. Can I make a Jaguar? Not right now. Not for a while. That would take me a little while to figure out. Not the shape of it, but the pattern. No, got the third stage going. Well, you start jumping up to 3-inch marbles, you gotta run this thing. But speaking of which, I gotta bring it down. I got a little spot right in here. Got a tiny little wrinkle I need to get out. Oh, she's looking good. I like it. All right, let me pull out the little fuzzy marks from rolling it in this mold. And we should be good. Yeah, I think we're okay. I'll show you kind of how we are with it. I don't want to melt my flashlight, but you can definitely see all the colors bouncing through that thing now. Definitely has a ton of color coming through. Now it's going to get a little more color as it sits in the kiln because that amber purple is going to strike up. Okay, there we go. Nope, not yet. I'm going to round that out just a tiny bit. We're going to use a very, very light punty here. That's why you gotta be careful. Scary, right? Oh my God, thank you so much. Kevin's book for the fest cheers. How you doing, Kevin? Speaking of which, I made you a very special pen last night. I don't know if you'll like it, but I'm sending you like 3 of them. Okay, last little bit. Now the part that's gonna suck is if this thing falls. This snaps off the rod, it's gonna suck. I can fix it, but it's gonna suck. I'd rather not fix it. Yeah, I think this marble's pushing 3.5. If I had to guess, I would say this one's 3.5. Oh, let's measure it. Yeah, 3.5. All right, that's it. That should do it. Now we're going to grab the tool that Dragonfly Creation makes, and we're going to pop this into the kiln. Let it do its thing. Thank you for the heart me, Kevin. How you doing anyway? So this is one of my favorite tools. Dragonfly Creation makes this. Man, it barely fits in there. Then this is how you get it off the stick. Like that. Then we got to let it sit for a second. Thank you, Colleen Sphere, or Celestial Sphere. I said Colleen. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, that's good. I don't know, Kevin. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if I have it nearby. I don't know if I do. Let me see if I have it nearby. Yep, there we are. So we got all kinds of colors bouncing all throughout this. Looks absolutely amazing. Let me see. Do I have Kevin's pen? Oh, I do, Kevin. So you have a book, Hunter of the Damned, right? So I thought I would do it with the little horns on it, like that. I don't know if you'll dig that, but I thought I'd do Hunter of the Damned. So I put little horns on your pen. So this is a ballpoint pen, and it's for writing. And you could put the Bic insert in there. So they take Bic inserts. Like that. You just put the Bic pens in there. Oh my God, mother, or moth. I'm sorry, Ma. Thank you. I thought it said mother. But yeah, I thought, yeah, thank you, Kevin. That CC, thank you. Mother bro, what's up? Thank you for the flickering heart. Thank you all for the jewels. I appreciate that. So yeah, I thought that was kind of perfect for Kevin. Yeah, I mean, I've got like 3 pens, but that one's very unique. Okay, so I appreciate that. Thank you for the fest cheers. Okay, so one of the drawbacks of doing those big old marbles is everything on my surface right here is super hot. So I need to take a short break for a little bit because I got to let this cool down. Everything is roasting. So I'll be back. I will be. What time is it? Yeah, I'll be back. Give it about 15 minutes to a half hour. And then I'll be back and we'll fire it up again. But I got to let it cool off. It's too hot right here. Those things burn up the bench. So I will be back. TikTok, I'll see y'all in just a little bit. And YouTube, thank you very much. Hopefully you come back, but I definitely have to let this cool off. It's too hot right now. Everything I would touch is roasting. So I will see y'all in just a little bit. Yeah, I just got to take a short break, let it cool off. I'll see you in a bit.